Alright, welcome back to another GPU comparison video, and this time we're going to be doing the RTX 5060 8GB versus the RTX 5080 16GB. So we'll be doing the MSI Shadow version of the card of the 5060 versus the Asus TUF OC Gaming of the 5080. And let's take a look at the specs on GPU Z. On the left side you can see the 5060, and on the right side you can see the 5080 specs. We'll be pairing this up with the Ryzen 7 9800X3D running at 4.70 GHz, so it's base speeds, and 64 GB of DDR5 memory running at 6000 MHz. Both the GPUs are running at base speeds, so no overclocking, nothing, just the stock speeds of both the cards and the CPU. And we'll be testing these two cards out in 5 different games, just like the previous videos, on Cyberpunk 2077, Expedition 33, Doom the Dark Ages, Spiderman 2, and then finally Indiana Jones. You guys can see the graph at the end of each benchmark, and at the end you guys can see the overall improvement and thoughts and my comments on if it's worth it or not from upgrading a 5060 to a 5080, or should you just directly go for a 5080 instead. Alright guys, I'll catch you guys at the end.
What's your problem?
That car does not care for traffic laws.
Spiderman's after us!
Hey guys! Oh, lost him. So Indiana Jones on 4K was a joke on the 5060. So we are running the game on high settings on both the cards and DLSS DLAA on the 5080. And I try to do the same on the 5060, but every time I try to do it, it just crashes to desktop like here. So I had to do only native TAA instead of DLSS DLAA with the 5060. Alright guys, so there's gonna be comparison on native TAA on the 5060 and DLSS DLAA on the 5080. Alright.
Tranquilo.
It's pretty much the same thing on 1440p because DLAA, turning on DLAA on the 5060 again crashes the game. So still sticking with native TAA on the 5060 and DLSS DLAA on the 5080. And on 1080p, we are doing DLSS DLA on both the cards since the 8GB supports DLSS DLA and doesn't crash. So we're doing it on 5060 as well as the 5080 here. And at the end of the benchmark, you can see how it's gonna be with native TAA on the 5060. Just to give you guys an idea how much FPS you can gain if you're using TAA instead of DLAA. So on TAA, on 1080p high settings, you're looking at about 10 to 15 additional FPS on the same area. Okay, let's get the elephant out of the room first. 4K settings. The RTX 5080 is just miles ahead because of its VRAM. 16GB of VRAM actually helps it, especially on games like Indiana Jones and Doom the Dark Ages where you need the ray tracing inbuilt. There's no way to turn it off. So the VRAM actually helps here, absolutely. So that's why there's a huge jump. And on 1440p is just 180% faster than the 5060. Just still a pretty good jump, not gonna lie. And on 1080p, The 5080 is about 137% faster than the 5060. All of these are a massive leap, but we need to talk a little bit of context. So these benchmarks are all done using the 9800X3D, as you guys saw in the beginning, with 64 GB of RAM, which is like a top-end spec for a gaming PC. But the majority of the gamers who's looking for a 5060 upgrade likely don't have this kind of hardware. Let's be honest. So if you're on something like a Ryzen 5 or an older Intel i5 or i7, you're probably not even getting the full performance that the 5060 showed here, especially in CPU heavy titles. So while the 5060 looks alright on paper, in real world it could be actually worse than it is what you just saw. And the 8 GB of VRAM, yeah, it's already maxing out any current AAA games at higher resolutions. Now the real question is, the 5080 worth $700 more MSRP than the 5060? Well, it depends. Like if you're just playing 1080p competitive games on a strict budget and you don't mind any cinematic settings like you guys see in these videos, you can probably get by with the 5060. Just keep your settings in check and don't expect to run the latest cinematic titles maxed out. And games like Doom, The Dark Ages, which absolutely need you to have a RTX card, and how low the RT count is for the 5060, it is going to be a really bad experience on games like those. But if you're aiming for a 4K 1440p Ultra, something like that, yeah, you definitely need to spend up more money and get a 16 GB card if that's your thing, getting everything maxed out, even with DLSS. So that's how it goes with the 5060 versus 5080. And this is just native settings. I know you can fiddle with the settings and get DLSS upscaling and frame generation, but if you guys watch my other videos, you guys know how it goes. I'm just doing native settings benchmark, as a lot of people are looking for those. And yeah, so let me know in the comments, guys. What do you guys think about the 5060 versus the 5080? Are you guys looking for an upgrade to the 5060, or are you just ready to spend more money and get the 5080, or wait for the 5080 Super with more VRAM? That's gonna be a couple more months into the future. So if you guys like this video and want to see more videos like this, it'll be up right in the corner. And hope you guys are having a great time wherever you are. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.